Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you all? I hope everybody is doing good. So welcome to Memoneet students. I am Aprajita, your chemistry tutor, and I hope everyone is doing good. So we are back here to study another important lecture on some basic concepts of chemistry. So as I told you that this chapter is going to be a part of your BPT-3, right? So already it has come in your BPT-1 and you know BPT-3 is a cumulative test. So where we will be having both the chapters, that is from the BPT-1, which is some basic concepts of chemistry, and from BPT-2, which is your solutions, right? So we will be having these two chapters in our third part test. I hope you are preparing well for that and you have watched the previous lecture. If you have not watched yet, please go and watch that. In that, I have discussed how to solve the numerical problems, like different types of numericals we did for different topics, and we discussed the way to solve those problems and how to approach them, like if they come in your exam, because from this chapter most of the questions asked by the NTA are numericals. So you have to get hold of the numericals and practice as much as you can. Okay, this is the tip as like I can give you, and as I always say, practice makes a man perfect. So practice as much as you can. All right. So students, today I have got something very interesting for you. Okay, I will tell you something very interesting, but for that you need to stay tuned throughout the lecture. Okay, you have to stay till the end. So today what I am going to do is we will be taking the PYQs. Okay, what are PYQs? The previous year questions from this chapter that were asked by NTA. Alright. So basically, you know, now the exam is being conducted by NTA. So we have to be familiar with the mindset. Okay, mindset of NTA, as our YouTube channel also says, right? You might have seen it, that get familiar with NTA mindset. So by that, what do we mean? We mean that you need to understand ki NTA is going to ask what kind of questions and how the question framing is done, right? Which type of question will be asked from which chapter, like will it be a match the following, will it be a numerical, will it be a concept based or a statement based question, right? So as I have already told you, because this we have done a lot of analysis upon that, from these chapters that we are discussing as of now, mainly numericals have been asked till now. Okay, so we will be discussing some questions that actually are not PYQs, but I have derived them from PYQs. Okay, which we call as DPYQs, means I have derived those questions from the previous year questions, and I am going to tell you to how to do the same. Means you will be also able to derive such questions from the previous year questions, but for that what you have to do, you have to watch this lecture till the end, right students? So that's what we are going to do, and again we will be solving some numerical problems mainly for this chapter. Okay, so are you all ready? So keep your notebook and pen ready, because as we are going to solve the questions, I want you people also to take down the note of that particular question and note it, right? So that's the best way of studying. Always have a notebook and pen with you, and where you can keep your notes ready. Have a separate notebook for that. All right. So we are going to start with the first question now. So take your notebooks and pens out. Okay, class? So students, this is your question number 1 for today. So the question says the highest number of chlorine atoms is 35.5 grams of chlorine, 2.27108 liters of chlorine at STP, 4 mole of chlorine and 4 U of chlorine. Okay. So what you have to find out here students is that out of the given options, where do we have the highest number of atoms? Okay. So now do you remember that to find out the number of atoms, what do we have to use? We have to use the mole concept, right? Mole concept we have to use. Mole concept is actually one of the important topic of this chapter, because a lot of questions have been asked from this topic, I'll tell you, I'll show you also, right? So the question here is, we are been given different quantities of chlorine, right? So we need to find out that which one will be having the highest number of chlorine atoms. So what you can do is, you all know that 1 mole of any substance, okay, will be having Avogadro's number of particles, means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. So what if I find out the number of moles for all of the given options and then I compare it, right? The one having the highest number of moles will be having the highest particle as well, right? So that's what we can do. Okay, so let's start with the first option. It's 35.5 grams of chlorine. Okay, so 35.5 is the atomic mass of chlorine, right? So you know the number of moles would be given mass upon the atomic or the molar mass. So given mass is also 35.5, the atomic mass is also given, means the number of mole is 1 mole. So in the first option I have 1 mole of chlorine. All right, now the next option is 2.27 liters of chlorine at STP. So students, do you remember we have studied that STP any gas occupies how many, like how much volume? 22.7 liters. So you can say ki 22.7 liters of chlorine will be 1 mole, right? So here we have 2.27 liters of chlorine. So that would be 1 upon 22.7 into 2.27, right? So how much it is coming out to be? It is coming out to be 0.1 mole. So now we have got the number of moles for second one. Now for third one, already it is given, that is 4 mole of chlorine. Okay, so for 1 mole, how many atoms I will be having? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 chlorine atoms. For 0.1 mole, I'll be having 0.1. So it means you can say 0.1 into Avogadro's number. So that would be here. So you can say it is going to be 6.022 into 10 to the power 22 atoms. Okay, already it's less. Now 4 mole of chlorine, it's already, so it will be like 4 into Na number of particles. Here you can say 0.1 into Na number of atoms, and here 1 into Na. Now for 4U, 4U is for atomic mass unit. So you know it is the mass of 1 chlorine atom, right? 1 chlorine atom it is. So here students, 4U of chlorine means only 1 chlorine atom, so it's definitely not the highest. Okay, so clearly you can see the number of the highest number of chlorine atoms will be in 4 mole of chlorine, because in the first one I have 1 mole, in the second one I have 0.1 mole, third one is 4 mole, and the fourth one is just 1 chlorine atom. So definitely the highest number of atoms will be in 4 moles of chlorine. So that is going to be the answer. That is option number 3. Okay, so this kind of question was asked in by the NTA. Now let me tell you that I have got this question from a PYQ. So let me show you what that PYQ was, so then you can relate to it. All right, so let me show you that. So here is the question, students. Now here can you see that the question is highest number of helium atoms is in 4 grams of helium, 2.27 liters of helium at STP, 4 mole of helium and 4 U of helium. Now can you see that instead of helium I have just replaced it with chlorine, right? So don't you think कि NTA can replace it with any other atom and give you the same kind of question? Of course, they can actually change the quantities also. So that is where we have to check the mindset. Okay, that what kind of question is being asked. So the kind of question asked is that we need to compare the number of atoms for for a particular element only, but for different quantities, like for in which we have been given 4 grams, then in liters, then in moles, and then in AMU, right? So we need to know the relationship between the number of moles and all these things so that I can find out the number of moles, and then we can easily find out the number of atoms. Okay. So now what I want you to what I wanted to tell you in today's session, that I told you that it's going to be interesting, that you can also derive such questions. Yes. Now you will think, how ma'am, how we will be able to derive this question? It will not just come in one go. Like, you have this particular PYQ in front of you. It was just recently asked, the Neet 2024 exam, in like it was asked there. Now you have this question in front of you and you want to practice more such questions. So you don't have to go anywhere to find and search the questions. You can make questions on your own. But the thing is, how? How can you make the questions on your own when you are clear with the concept of the question, right? Whenever you are clear with the concept कि इस particular question में क्या concept लगा है, like इस particular question में हमने देखा कि number of moles कैसे find out करते हैं from given mass, then number of moles का relation क्या है with the volume of a gas, then AMU के बारे में, right? So all that thing you need to know, then only you can form such many questions and solve them. Now for that, what you need to have? You need to have a detailed explanation of this question. Okay. Of course, you can find the explanations on internet anywhere, but let me tell you about our NTA PYQ book. So you know, students, that Memoneet has this only NTA PYQ book we are going to launch very soon. Okay. So let me show you a little bit of that and let me tell you the interesting features of that book. So can you see here, this is our only NTA PYQ book, students, in which we have covered the questions from 2019 to 2024. Yes. Now you will ask, ki ma'am, do we have to do the previous year questions also, like before 2019? What I would suggest is, no, it's not needed, because in this now we have covered all the questions that are asked by NTA, so they are enough for you to crack the NTA mindset, what kind of questions were asked. So let me tell you, if you get this book, what will happen? So here we have arranged the questions chapter wise. First of all, like some basic, you don't have to search कि some basic concepts of chemistry के कौन से PYQs हैं. No, जैसे अब हम chapter wise preparation कर रहे हैं, you just open this book, you will get the first chapter, some basic concepts of chemistry. Every PYQ is there from 2024 to 2019. Okay, most recent से back order में लगाया है, and that is topic wise as well. And now let me tell you something very interesting, that this is the only book with both crisp and detailed explanation. Like, you can just look at the crisp explanation and fine, I have understood it. But if you want to learn in detail, like I told you now, if you want to derive the questions, you have to learn them in detail, like the concept in detail. So we have provided you with the detailed explanation as well. Still, if you are not able to understand, you can go through the video solution. Yes, every question comes with a QR code. You scan it, you will get a video solution for each and every question, which have been recorded by our SMEs only. So this book is very helpful for you. Okay, you will get all the NTA PYQs, in-depth PYQ analysis. Moreover, you will get the NCRT tags also. Means you will get to know ki from which page of the NCRT this question is being asked. Because yes, what I always say, keep focus on NCRT. Okay, so you will get an idea ki what kind of questions are asked and from where. So you don't have to rush anywhere, open different books. No, only this one book is enough to study all the PYQs in detail. Okay, so let me give you a small sample of what kind of explanation you will get there, all right, for the same question that we have done. So see students, for this question, this is the explanation that we have provided in the book. You see, you have this crisp explanation as well as detailed explanation which is discussing all the given options. We are not just discussing the right one, we are discussing all the options so that you get to know the concept behind this question, and from here you can derive the PYQs for your. So students, what have you understood, right? That if you want to become pro in making questions and solving the PYQs and getting idea from that ki what kind of question is going to be asked by NTA, so that's what you have to follow. You have to follow our NTA PYQ book. Why? Because we have actually analyzed this thing, okay? We are not randomly saying this. We have done the analysis and we have found out that NTA usually asks the questions from PYQs only. Means not the direct questions, but concept is same, it's just changed and it is just twisted. All right, like you have got an idea here what I am showing. All right, so they can give you any other atom and they can ask the maximum, like in this case the highest number of atom was asked, so they can ask you the minimum number of atoms as well, right? So this has been analyzed that the PYQs are very very important because you will get an idea of what kind of questions are going to be asked and how they are going to be asked as well. Okay. So please go through that and go through our NTA PYQ book. Please purchase it as soon as possible. Okay. And you can try to compare it with other books as well. So you will not get such a detailed explanation anywhere else, right? So now we will be solving another question and I'll tell you how it is related to our PYQ. Okay, so let's go. So students, let's see the next question. The question is, find the molality of 1 molar HCl solution having a density of 1.5365 gram per milliliter. Okay, so you have been given 1 molar HCl. Okay, means molarity of this HCl solution is 1. And you know what is molarity? Okay, let's revise molarity. So we have studied that molarity is the number of moles of solute dissolved per liter of the solution, or like which is present in 1 liter of the solution, means volume of solution we take in liters, right? So now what do you think? If you are having 1 molar solution, means the molarity is 1, so it means that 1 mole of HCl is dissolved or it is present in 1 liter of the solution. 1 liter means you can say it is 1000 milliliter of the solution, right? So it means the volume of solution we can take as 1000. Now we need to find out the molality. Now what all is required for finding out molality? So let's write the formula for molality. Molality means the number of moles of solute. Again we need to have number of moles of solute which is already there with us, 1 mole, which is present in 1 kg of the solvent, means which is present per kg of solvent. So here we can say that what is the mass of solvent in kilograms. Now here is the question. We have to find out the mass of solvent if we need to find out the molality. And we have been given volume of solution. But there is something else given to us which is density, 1.5365. Right students? 1.5365. Now, the volume of solution is 1 liter, means I can say it is 1000 milliliter, and density obviously gram per centimeter cube or gram per milliliter you can say. Alright, yes, gram per milliliter it is. From here, can you find out the mass? Just find it out, because you know that density is equal to mass upon volume. So mass will be density into volume, no? So 1000 into 1.5365. That's what we can say now. So let's solve it. It will be 1536.5 grams. Now this is the mass but of the solution, right? This is the mass of solution. Now I want to have mass of solvent. How can I find out the mass of solvent? By using by subtracting the mass of solute. Now the thing is that I am having 1 mole of the solute. But what is the solute here? It is HCl, right? So what is the mass of 1 mole of HCl? Yes, the molar mass of HCl, which is 1 plus 35.5, which is 36.5 grams. So this is the mass of solute. Now you have got the mass of solution, mass of solute. Now everything is solved. Just find out the mass of solvent. See class, I am telling you all these things step by step so that you can get the concept ki how to solve the question if any kind of question comes. Okay. So mass of solvent would be mass of solution minus mass of solute. So it will come out to be 1500 grams. Now you have got the mass of solvent. Right? Now we can clearly find out the molality. Now there is nothing much to solve. Now you can find out the molality very easily. Right? So the formula here is number of moles of solute, which is 1 mole of solute, alright, and mass of solvent in kilograms. Since it's 1500 grams, so I will be dividing it by 1000 to make it in grams. So 1000 will go into the numerator and upon 1500. So you will solve it, it will come out to be 0.67 molal. Small m we use for molality. So yes, the answer is going to be option number 1. Okay. Now here I have taken 1 molar HCl solution. Now this is what I have derived. Okay, I have made this question for you people. Now what exactly was asked in the NTA PYQ? So let me show you and you will see like there is something interesting about this question, that this question has been asked twice. Yes, the similar kind of question has been asked twice. Let me show you. So students, here we have those two questions. Can you see these? I have taken from our NTA PYQ book only. Okay, can you see here we have done the tagging as well, that this question has been asked in Neet 2023 Manipur. You know, in 2023 separate exam happened for Manipur and like there was some problem going on there. So we have taken that question also. Okay, so we have taken all the questions from these exams. And so NEET 2023 Manipur mein this question was asked, density of 1 molar solution of compound X is this much. The correct option for molality is. Now students, abhi maine HCl liya, but in this case they have given X. So now for X they will give you the molar mass because you don't know what is X. Here molar mass I did not give you because we knew what is HCl, so we can find the molar mass of HCl, right? So they have made the question here easier for you by giving the molar mass also. And now you see in NEET 2019 a separate exam happened for Odisha. So this question was asked there also. See, repeated twice, 2019, 2023. So here the molarity is changed now, 2 molar, and density is changed and the compound is also given. It's NaOH. And they have given the molecular mass of NaOH. They might not give it as well. Okay, so you must know how to find the molar masses. So अगर NaOH को molar mass नहीं भी दिया होगा, then also you have to solve it and you have to tell कि what will be the molality. Okay. So try to solve these questions also. And now देखो अब यहाँ से we have derived a question. Instead of NaOH, I have taken HCl. You can try to have any other compound and do the same kind of question. One more question I can say here is from this thing. Your what we can say is molality से molarity निकालने भी आ सकती है, right? So you have to do it in reverse way. First find the mass of solvent from the molality. Okay, then उसमें mass of solute add करके you will get the mass of solution. Then density given होगी, वहां से हम volume निकाल लेंगे, right? Volume निकल जाएगी, then molarity. So this is another kind of question you can derive from here. That if molality is given, how can you find out the molarity? Okay. So see, this is how we are going to approach. हम already concepts पढ़ चुके हैं, so we are taking these lectures for you to make you understand कि how to solve the PYQs. Not just solving the PYQs, but cracking the mindset कि how you are preparing yourself for the upcoming questions. right? So जब आप ये सब कर लोगे ना, you will be like, now I can solve any question. Let it be any question, I can solve any question, right? So that's the thing. Now let's solve a few more questions here. So students, the next question is a very simple question. Again, it is being from asked from your mole concept, which says which of the following has minimum number of atoms. Okay, so the PYQ actually was that which of the following has maximum number of atoms. Okay, so see, I told you we can twist the question in any which ways. Now we can find minimum number of atoms, and यहाँ पर whatever elements are given to you, you can like NTA can just change the element. Instead of silver they can give you gold, instead of lithium they can give you sodium. So that doesn't matter. What matters is that how you are going to solve the question. So again, what we need to do is we need to find out the number of moles for every case. Okay, so the one having minimum number of moles will be having the minimum number of atoms, right? This is clear because 1 mole is Avogadro's number of particles. So you know the formula for number of moles. I'm again writing given mass upon molar mass. So if you want to study the concepts of this chapter, I'm again saying go through the previous lectures that we have given to you on YouTube. Okay, if anybody has not watched it yet, go through that. Once your concepts are clear, then you can come back here and solve the numericals. This is how we are approaching, right? We can't just solve the numericals directly. First you need to know the concept. So for magnesium students, 1 gram is given now. So for 1 gram here, please see that the given mass is 1 and the number of the atomic mass is already given, which is 24. So this will be the number of moles for the first one. Okay. So how many atoms would be there? 1 by 24 into the Avogadro's number. So I can clearly write Na. Okay. So Na upon 24 you can say. Now for the second question, now here is the catch. It's given oxygen, O2, right? O2 is gas in gaseous state, so it's a molecule here. So first of all, students, the given mass is 1 and the now here we are talking about O2. So I have to take the molecular mass. Okay, I cannot take 16 here. I have to take 2 into 16, which is 32. So 1 upon 32, all right, into Na number of molecules it would be. 1 upon 32 into Na molecules. But since one molecule has 2 atoms, so I will multiply it with 2. So that will give you the number of atoms, which is Na upon 16. Or clearly, like you can directly take 16 as the atomic mass here if you want to find out the number of atoms. Okay. But if you are taking it as 32, just multiply it with 2. Okay, so this much atoms would be there. Now for the third option, I have 1 gram of lithium, which is very easy, 1 upon 7 into Na. So it's Na upon 7. Then fourth one is 1 upon 108 into Na. Now this is not difficult to solve because the amount given is 1 gram only. So we don't have to do any calculation. If the different amounts would have been given, see, they can give you different amounts also if they want to make it more complicated, if they want you to calculate. But in this case, no need to calculate, okay? Just don't put the values and start calculating. Please don't do it, students, because here you have to find minimum number of atoms. And in maths, you have studied if the denominator is the biggest in this case, the answer is going to be the minimum here. Okay, because if you are going to divide something by 108, you will get minimum value as compared to the other options, right? So here you can say that in the fourth option you are going to get minimum number of atoms. And if they would have asked you the maximum that they have asked in the PYQ, then it would be option 3, because here the denominator is the smallest. Clear? So the answer is going to be option number 4 in this case, because we are asked about the minimum number of atoms. Okay. So that was another question. I have told you how to solve it. Let's move ahead to the next one. So students, the next question is a very important as well as a very common topic, that is finding the empirical formula or the molecular formula of the compound. So the question here says an organic compound contains 40% of carbon, 53.5% oxygen, and hydrogen is 66.5%. So we need to find the empirical formula. And this we have done many a times, that if you have 100 grams of the compound, so according to the given question, carbon is 40 grams, oxygen is 53.5 grams, and hydrogen is 6.5 grams, right? So this is the amount, and from here now I can find out the number of moles. Firstly, I'll write the amount, which is 40, 53.5 and 6.5. Now I will divide it with their atomic masses, or I can say the atomic masses. Okay, so now in the table I will say here the number of moles. So for carbon, the molar mass is 12 grams, so 40 upon 12, if I solve it, it will come out to be 3.333, so I can write 3.34. And then 53.5, okay, so it's 53.5 upon this thing here. Okay, I've written it wrongly, it's oxygen now. So yes, it's oxygen, which is 53.5, and hydrogen. So 53.5 upon 16. So again it will come out to be 3.34, and 6.5 upon 1, which is the atomic mass of hydrogen at 6.5. Now you know how to find out the simplest ratio. So for simplest ratio, you have to divide these values by the minimum value. So the smallest value is 3.34. So I will divide it here, which is 1. Again 3.34 divided by 3.34, which is 1. 6.5, if you divide it with 3.34, it will come out to be 1.95. So we have to take the whole number values. I can round it off to 2. So clearly I've got carbon ratio, hydrogen ratio, oxygen, which is 1 ratio 2 ratio 1. So the formula becomes CH2O. Okay, the answer is option D. Now students, for empirical formula, many questions have been asked in the previous years also. Okay, recently in Neet 2024, let me show you, this question was asked. Okay, a compound X contains 32% of A, means A is 32 grams, B is 20%, means 20 grams, and remaining is C. So for C you have to like subtract it from 100, no? 32 plus 20, so 100 minus 52, which is 48 grams. Okay, so this kind of question can also be asked. In the question that I gave you, all the three percentages were given. Now here one was not given. Atomic masses are given because it's given A, B, C. When they will be giving you the elements like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, in that case they are not going to give you atomic mass. They can or they cannot. Okay, so you must know the values of atomic masses, molar masses. That is very important. Now see, if you here get these grams, like the values you have got, you can just find out the empirical formula. So tell me the answer in the comment box. Okay, for the last question, tell me the answers in comment box, whether it is 1, 2, 3 or 4. Okay, I'll check like which people have answered the questions. Okay, so see, this is how we can derive the PYQs, and just by solving the PYQs, a major portion of our concepts would be clear. And for that, yes, you need to have a detailed explanation that I told you will be provided in our NTA PYQ book. Okay. So more details, students, everything, go through our Telegram channel. Okay, link for joining the Telegram channel will be there in the description. Okay, please go through that. And yeah, so with that, I have covered most of the questions from this chapter, which is some like important concepts of chemistry. Okay, basic concepts of chemistry. So please go through it, revise this chapter. All right, revise this complete chapter once again. There is still time in your BPT-3. So what I want you to do is now revise this chapter again, and I'll be seeing the comment section. If you want me to explain anything, any question or any concept you are not clear with it, just post it in the comment section. We will come up with a separate lecture for you people. Okay, so you need to tell me, ma'am, this one is not clear or this one is clear, right? So we can plan accordingly. Otherwise, In the next lecture, we will be talking about the next chapter, which is solutions. There also, I will tell you about how to solve the numericals, how to approach the questions. Okay, everyone. So this is how we are going to solve the questions. So please keep on practicing, as I always say, and we will meet next time. So until then, take care. Thank you so much, students. Bye bye.